everybody, this is Sybil. Welcome to my channel. I thought I would come on and do a little chit chat video with you. So I still have people wondering if I am going to continue getting rid of my stamps and dies, and yes, I am. But not the way that you think, like, am I going to get rid of all of them? No. And so I thought I would do a little video and share about that again. I know some of you have heard this before, but I just did another destash video before this one. I destashed a bunch of stamps and dies and stencils, autumn themed, of course. And so before I talk any further, I did set this little card here to give you something to look at before I share what I have left of my stamps and dies and stencils for autumn. So if this video interests you, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up and that you will enjoy it. So a big thank you to all my subscribers, and thank you and welcome to my new subscribers. So thank you for subscribing. I know there are so many paper crafting channels out there, so I appreciate you subbing to my channel. So before I go any further, I want to say that I mentioned that I destashed a bunch of stamps and dies and stencils before this video. And the reason being, in August, I did autumn in August cards. And so I used, I think, all but one of the stencils and one of the die sets that I just destashed. So I wanted to clarify that before I go any further. So now we'll just jump into this. So I had mentioned previously when I got rid of about 3/4 of my, 2/3 to 3/4 of my scrap supplies. So not just stamps and dies and stencils did I get rid of. I destashed and I gave a whole bunch away. But I also got rid of paper pads, markers, ink pads, storage, and trimmers. I think a die machine. Was it two die machines? And yeah, just a bunch of stuff that I knew, a lot of it I had not used within a year, some more longer than that. A lot of it hadn't used for longer than a year. And so the reason I did that in the first place, and I had a lot of people contact me, they were concerned that I was going to give up card making because I now enjoy to scrapbook. So let me clarify, I love card making, and I love Copic coloring, and I love watercoloring with distress ink, you know, and my Zig markers. I love to watercolor and Copic color, and I love to create cards. So I am not going to quit doing that, but I am also going to continue scrapbook layouts. I have fallen in love with scrapbook layouts, making them, having so much fun. It's a different type of creative paper, you know, art, and I just love it. It's a different medium, a different outlet, and it is so fulfilling and satisfying, and I have so much fun doing it. So I will still scrapbook and I will still make cards. So that being said, that out of the way, when I was destashing, I had just come to the place where I was overwhelmed. Now I know that I did not have as much supplies as some scrapbookers and paper crafters do, but it wasn't about anybody else but me. And same as this video, I'm not looking at anybody else. What people purchase and what they have and what they use or what they don't use, that's up to them as a creator and, you know, a paper crafter. But for me, I had so much stuff that it was overwhelming. And it not only stifled my creativity, it literally shut it down. I was making less videos because I was making less projects. I was not coming into my craft room. I would walk by and often think, oh, maybe I should go paper craft, but the joy of it had almost left the building, if you will. But once I started to destash, I could breathe more freely creatively. And I got back in my craft room. I reorganized it. I changed up the craft furniture so it's more conducive for scrapbooking. It's still conducive for card making and watercoloring and Copic coloring, but the flow of my craft room works so much better for me now. So that is a big yay. And I'm no longer overwhelmed. So I started shopping my stash instead of ordering online. And I've never been a big shopper at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I go there once in a blue moon. And I mean like once out of 6 months or so for scrapbook supplies. No, I usually go to Hobby Lobby for home decor, and that's pretty much it. But I was a shopper online because most of the card making supplies that I loved were online stores, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I was getting a shopping high and not using what I was buying, so I was literally just throwing my money away. And that's not cool. That's not smart. That's not being a good steward with the money the Lord has blessed us with. And my husband works hard for our money. And, before I retired, I worked hard for our money. And so I don't want to just throw the money away. If I'm going to purchase something, I want to put it to use. Again, I'm not speaking about anybody else. No fingers are pointed. I'm just talking about me. So please, nobody take offense or think contrary to what I'm saying, because this is how I really feel about me. And I'm one of those people that disorganization drives me crazy. Unorganization drives me crazy. Chaos drives me crazy. It shuts me down creatively. And that's just how I've been since I was a child. And that flows over into so many areas of my life, not just creatively, but in other areas in my life. And so for me, I've realized the less is more mentality. It fits me well. It works well for me. I have less choices, so therefore I make better choices with what I have. And once I did that and got rid of all of this excess, I started crafting again. The joy returned. I walked in my craft room and it was just like a breath of fresh air. It was freedom. And the creative juices are flowing again. I'm having so much fun. And that's what paper crafting is about. Just the joy in the art, the playing and the creating brings us happiness. It's fun. And I have that back again. And that is why I have reduced my supplies. And I'm going to move this over. I just realized I picked that up. I need to tape that down better. There's some adhesive. It's not very sticky. I need to tape that down before I mail that off. So I wanted to share with you what I have left. I'm not going to go into every single thing, but I'm going to go through a few things. Before I share with you what I have left in this container, I had a big scrapbook container. I think it's like 14 by 14, I think, or maybe it was 13 by 13, where you could put a bunch of scrapbook layouts. You've seen them. I just had them name of the manufacturer who makes those, but Scrap Bin, I think that's who it is. They make those big, containers. I had that filled with autumn papers, stamps, dies, washi tape, flowers, you name it. It was packed. And then I had another container packed with autumn stamps and dies, and I think one more container. And this is what I have left now. And this is doable for me. And so did I love the other things? I did, but I wasn't using them. And so when I did, I'm going to move this back out of the way real quick. But when I did autumn and August, I used so many new to me stamps and dies that I've had, some of them for years, but had never used. It was like Christmas. I had so much fun creating with these things that I have never used before. And several of the stamps and dies I had purchased last year during sales and Black Friday sales and things like that. And so now, almost a year later, here I am creating with them. And so it's been a lot of fun. But as I've worked through things, I've realized, okay, I don't think I will use this again. I loved it, but I just didn't think I would use that again. And so I want to show you one of these products. This is a die set from Paper Tray Ink. I love Paper Tray Ink. Absolutely one of my favorite companies, paper crafting companies out there. And the Pumpkin House. Probably one of the most favorite die sets I've ever purchased, bar none. I made a card with this, and I have my extras in there, so you'll have to excuse that. And I don't think they're going to move. But here you can see, if you can make that out, the pumpkin and the moon and the leaves and the trees, and it sounds like a song. But this was so much fun that I knew I will use this again and again and again. So speaking of that, so I definitely kept that. This is a die set from Honeybee Stamps. It's called Fall Bouquet. I don't know if they even have it anymore, but this pumpkin has been a fall favorite of mine. I make a card with it. I've made 2 of them that I've kept. I've made others and sent out, but I made a regular orange pumpkin. Last year I made a teal pumpkin. So you'll have to wait for later on this month to see what pumpkin I made. So this one, what color of pumpkin I made for this card for this year. And I'm going to put them in little frames and hang them up in autumn. I thought that would be really neat. So, you know, I have things like this that I just don't want to part with because I love it so much. And then I do have this. Oh, I just took it right out of the acrylic pocket. Let me put it back in because there are the dies. I do have this stamp, as you know, the die sets with it, from Paper Tray Ink that I purchased, I think, a few years ago and never used, but I absolutely love it. And I realized I need to use this and I want to keep it. So I had the lovely layers from Honeybee Stamps, and I had this and this one. I had fun, you know, creating the card that I made with the lovely layers die set that I just destashed. But I think I'm going to enjoy this one, excuse me, a little bit more. So this one's right up my alley. So yeah, you know, I'm just keeping the things that speak joy to me, I guess you could say, speak happiness to me, speak fun to me. And, you know, I have Hello Bluebird stamps and coordinating dies. I don't have a whole lot of them. I used to have a whole bunch of them for autumn, but I've actually honed it down to, I think, about 5 sets. And I know that's still quite a bit, but I actually use them. And I kept the ones that I love and will use. So this is one that I just recently started coloring, and you will see a card from that too coming up soon. So there you go. I just wanted to share a little bit of insight as to why I'm doing this. And I plan on doing another destash of some Christmas supplies. If you're familiar with me and my channel through the years, Christmas cards are my favorite cards to make of any type of cards. I love making autumn cards, but Christmas cards are so fun. And so I've already made a bunch of Christmas cards. I plan to make more. So I'm going to go through what I have left of my Christmas stash, and I will do a de-stash video. So watch for that coming up in the next few weeks. But before I let you go, it's giveaway time. So if you enjoyed this video, again, I hope you will give it a thumbs up so my videos will go out to a greater audience. And this is a red rubber stamp from CC Designs. It's gently used. I've inked it. I think there's a little bit of ink there that I cleaned my stamps, but I will try to get that off again. But for whatever reason, I might have to use a different type of ink remover to get that off. But I thought I would give this away. It's called Abigail's Acorn from CC Designs. So if you would like this stamp, just leave a comment on this video, be a US subscriber to my channel, and that's it. All right, talk to you soon. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now.